All right, so we are back with our second week of Professional Lunch and Learn. Today I am with Kilby Shores, and I'm going to let you all introduce yourselves.
I'm Lori Banks. I'm the principal at Kilby Shores Elementary School.
Hi, I'm Karen Jones, the school counselor, and they know me as the Attitude Avenger here at Kilby Shores.
And my name's AJ Culp, and I'm the health and physical education teacher, the proud health and physical education teacher at this wonderful school.
All right, well, thank you all so much for joining me. So first, if you could give us a little bit of a background on the idea. We're talking today about your morning show that you guys have put together. So tell us about it and how you came up with the idea.
Okay, I guess I'll start. Our morning show was born in our Shark Tank. Before we went out for the pandemic, we were talking about having a morning show for students. And then as it kind of evolved over the summer, it went from a morning show in which students would be the ones to conduct the show to those who are in the building every day, and that's us. So that's kind of how it started. Just to keep them informed, we thought it was a good way to just stay in contact with them so they could see our faces.
We want it to be something that is fun for the kids, to keep it real, and to be sure we have a little bit of humor with the kids during this stressful time, but also keeping them informed and keeping them still on the Shark expectations and just feeling like they're a part of us, even though they're not here in person.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add, Mr. Culp, or did your colleagues cover it?
They did a wonderful job covering it. We did talk about the students making a morning show, and hopefully we can maybe transition to have some student involvement with it, because I think they would have fun with that. But I know that idea sprawled into PBIS too. So it was the morning show allows us to celebrate the virtual Sharks of the Week, which will hopefully encourage positive virtual behavior during this time when we're off and doing virtual learning.
Great. So you kind of tapped into my next question, which is, what is your plan for the morning show moving forward? So anything else you all would add to that?
I think other than making sure that if you're referring to when the kids come back, making sure that they are a part of it, but maybe finding other ways to incorporate some of the PBIS and getting them excited about it, getting more of our staff members involved in the morning show. We've rotated around who does certain parts of it, but we're trying to make it grow.
And currently, there are a lot of people that are behind the scenes that are helping us tremendously, that we could not have what we have without them. A lot of the support and input and the planning comes from Ms. Key, our music teacher, Ms. Salerno, our art teacher, Mr. Best, who's one of our awesome paraprofessionals with great ideas and lining up our mystery shark of the week, and the people that are going to be doing the pledge and the moment of silence and the beginning of the announcements. So it's a team effort all the way around.
And I'd also like to chip in and say thanks to Mr. Bonner as well. He's created some music for the show, and he's also done the Pledge of Allegiance and the moment of silence, as well as Miss Bailey and Mrs. Adams. They've all been on the show, and we've recorded them doing the pledge and the moment of silence. So it's neat to get a full team effort, and we just got picked up by Wavy TV, actually. So we're going places, but we just want to make sure it stays, school first. This is not about, that's a joke. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I just want to go over our segments we have. So the general announcements is usually Miss Banks. She usually does any sort of general announcements that stuff coming up. The Attitude Avenger always has you never know what you're going to get from week to week. We could be inside, outside. We could be jumping. We could be, have a shield. You never know, but she always has some sort of kindness or positive thought of the week. Mrs. Salerno always has a Kilby Artist of the Week. So she sends me Google Slides of selected artwork from each grade level that we can show. The tech tips, Mrs. Green, about every other week, will give tech tips for Chromebooks and things to help them out. And then we have our virtual Sharks of the Week segment every week, and a guest Who's That Shark segment at the end for a little bit of fun. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from teachers saying their kids kind of get a kick out of it because, you know, we're trying to make it fun and funny and enjoyable for them, because we know that sitting in front of the computer all day can kind of get old. So maybe to liven their morning up once a week is something I think is important.
Can you talk just a little bit about the Who's That Shark segment? What does that entail?
So very simple. I think it was Miss Key, our music teacher, also known as the maestro. She thought of this idea that we could just sit someone up there, and then Miss Salerno made a little shark cutout, and they sit, and I would give them hints on who that shark is, and then they have to try to figure it out. And then the following week, we will reveal that shark. So it's kind of like our closing segment with a little bit of music involved.
One thing that I've found that the kids get very excited about, that I've had good feedback from teachers about who the kids are thinking the mystery shark is. And one thing, like Mr. Kolb said, I think by having different people participate, it's out of their comfort zone. The folk who are doing some of the announcements or doing the pledge, they don't typically are ones who would step forward and do things that are very, very important to help make Kilby great. But I think bringing them out of put them in a place where they're not used to being is very interesting, and I think they're enjoying it. The teachers look forward to when they're ready to do the show. They're loving it, so it's having a positive effect, I think.
We're trying to keep it really centered on the kids, for the kids, and giving them some stress relief. But in turn, it also provides us some stress relief too, as we try to have that humor and have fun with the kids, even though they're at a distance from us. And include the staff in that. So you never know, week to week, we try to plan, but many times our great ideas come from the last minute inspirations that we have and just brainstorming together. So it's definitely a team effort, and it's wonderful. It's been a blessing.
So you've all kind of spoken to my next question, which is, how does it benefit students? So you've really all talked about this recently, but anything else you would add with regard to that?
Well, I know that some teachers have given input that now that not only the students, but the parents will kind of join with the child at the computer to, I guess, laugh along because they don't know what's coming next. So that's a great benefit for the whole family. If we can start a day, especially on a Monday, to get the week going, to help reduce stress and have that positive, those positive vibes flowing for a great week, then that's really what matters in helping the kids and their family.
Great. So how about any recommendations for your colleagues? If anyone else was interested in doing this across our division, what would be any recommendations you would share with them?
I could say that I think it's a very positive thing to put in place in schools. I know that there are some administrators who do messages weekly for their students and staff. But I think getting more of the staff involved has worked real well for us. I would tell my colleagues that it's something that they definitely should, because it does give the kids a chance to see us. I miss them. I know they miss our faces too. So it gives us a chance to see their faces when it's in a positive way. And I would suggest they just kind of get a team like the one that I have here, who are so willing to put themselves out there. I appreciate how willing they are to put themselves out there and make it fun. So they just have to get a team that's willing to work, and because there's a lot of work that goes into it. We record things in segments, and our production manager, Mr. Kolb, does an awesome job of putting all those segments together and making it flow. So you have to have a good team, someone who's very tech savvy like he is, and who's willing to do that. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Kudos to Mr. Kolb. It's a lot of hard work, and every Sunday evening, he will have all that stuff together. It takes time, and we know that. He's very humble about that, but a lot of talent there. And then he sends that out so that the teachers can post it to their Canvas page and show the students the next morning. My suggestion would be simply do involve your whole staff. Everyone can play an important part of connecting with the kids, and keep it real. Don't try to be perfect, because it's not meant to be that way. You can imagine that you're with the kids while you're talking, and that helps to make it real. And so the kids can feel that. They can feel that.
And then my advice, and thank you for the kind words, but it's a total team effort. It just so happens that I have a program on my computer that I can edit the video and make it. So just start small. You don't have to have a 10-minute video. You really shoot about 1-minute segments and piece it together. And if you have one tech person that knows how to edit a video, get them involved. Order a stand off Amazon that will hold your phone, and just have fun with it. It's an enjoyable experience being able to create something that the kids will enjoy, and you kind of get a lot of people helping out with that and encouraging and giving little creative ideas along the way. So it's a good way for a staff to come together and work together to create a product that'll hopefully help across the board for your students.
Awesome. So you had mentioned, my last question is really how people can see these videos to get some inspiration. So you talk a little bit about how the students see the video, and then also if any of your colleagues were interested in looking at any of these past morning shows, where would they go?
Well, I uploaded onto my YouTube page, and currently I upload them as unlisted and send the link out to Miss Banks and the morning show team, and then Miss Banks will look at the video and then send it out to the staff. So what I can do is possibly make those public, and then they would have to just search Austin Culp on YouTube and my YouTube page. And I have a plethora of wonderful physical education videos on there as well. So it's a very, very viral page. At least 200, 300 views.
Well, can I suggest that they not view the first 2 shows? I think maybe the 3rd show was when we really got very comfortable. The first 2 shows, I can tell you personally, I was not at my best. I'll put it that way. So,
well, I like what Miss Jones said about how it's nice for them to see. I'm sure the kids have enjoyed seeing you guys evolve and learn this. And, it's really not, everyone said you were so humble, Mr. Culp, but I'm glad you got your viral video, Health and PE shout out there. So I'm sure we'll talk more about what the definition of going viral means, but stay tuned on that. So thank you all for joining. Any final thoughts that you want to share before we close out?
I did learn, Mr. Culp and company, the maestro, and different people who consult for copyright and YouTube rules. There are certain things, so that would be a recommendation to please be sure, if people are going to be making it, that you follow all of those rules. Like we can't post music that is been done by other people. We have to have someone play it live or have our own that we've created, so that we don't infringe on anybody else's, the copyright laws. I'm sure that's not the technical way to say it. Mr. Culp may have a better way of saying it, but we have to just be careful and follow the rules.
You did a good job. We have the maestro and Mr. Bonner, DJ Bonner, as we call him.
DJ Bonner.
We have a keyboard set up right by where we film. So we'll play around with it, and they usually kind of score what we're trying to do, which has been really helpful. And again, that's just getting different staff members involved who have gifts and can bring that part of the piece to the table. And I'm always willing to plug health and physical education too, Dr. Culp. It's very important. 60 minutes of physical activity every day for good health especially right now. It's good for mental health as well. So,
and the positive mindsets, positive mindsets.
And kindness.
Kindness.
All right. Well, y'all have been very informative and entertaining. So I thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I'm excited to share this with our colleagues. I think this is something that could be really cool across all schools, not just elementary as well, especially in the virtual setting. I think you guys are doing a lot of great stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.